welcome to my channel. My name is Abdullah Kamil, and today I'm going to be showing you how to write a formula to get the file name. I once worked on a project and we had a lot of Excel files, and the goal was to merge all of them into one database. So we had to look at the data to see if the data is ready to go or it needs some modification. And what we found was something similar to what you see here on the screen. So we had a start time and an end time and a duration, but what we didn't have was the date. And the reason for that, people who were creating the file wrote the date into the file name itself, as you can see here, because it was a daily report, and they didn't bother to write the date again inside the file. Now, this is going to be a problem if you are going to merge all of the Excel files that you have into one database, because you wouldn't know what time belonged to which date. So in order to prepare the file to be merged into a database, we had to add another column here and name it date, and then extract the date here from the file name and put it here and copy to all the cells. Of course, you would be asking, why wouldn't you just write it down? Well, or type it in, right? So the problem is we had a lot of Excel files, like over 300, and it's not practical to open each and every one of them, and make the correction. So we had to record it into a macro, and then put a macro in a procedure where it opens every file, run the macro, extract the date from the file name, and then saves the file and close it. So with that, we could do it much faster. So that's why we had to come up with a formula to get the file name. So let's get into it and see how that goes, okay? So let's come here, because here we have some space, and then we can move later on to the other side. So what we have that can do something similar is a function called cell. And the cell function can give you the file name, as you can see here. Hitting tab will complete the function. And as you can see here, we can see that this is our file name, but it is included in the full path, okay? So what we want to do is we need to extract the date from this text that we see here. Something you may have noticed that the cell function also added square brackets to contain the full file name with the extension. So we're going to use this to our advantage to kind of use it as a marker where we're going to extract the file name. So the function that can extract text from within text is called mid. So the mid function is going to ask you, where is your text first, okay? And it is here, and then it's going to ask you, where do you want to start, okay? So now let's first prepare where we're going to start, and then we're going to need the number of characters, okay? So the number of characters, we know where we're going to start, okay, which is going to be the first square bracket here. But the number of characters is after the starting point, how many characters you want. We're going to make it a calculation later on. So we're going to find the second bracket here and the position of the second bracket here, and subtract the position of the first bracket from it to get the number of characters, okay? So let's skip the mid function for now, and let's prepare the positions, okay? So we calculate the position of the first square bracket. Okay. Sorry. Let's bring this back. This is kind of okay. So we're gonna use a function called find. The find function brings you the position of any character that you search for. So we want to find the first brackets where within this text. Okay, and we close it because we don't want to start at a certain position, the search at certain position. We want to start from the beginning. So we know that the position of the first bracket is 77. So we're going to look at the position of the second bracket here. Okay, and the function is going to be something like this. Be sure to always place your search term. If it's a text, place it within quotation marks, like this one. And we're gonna find it as again here. And as you can see here, the second position is 93. So now we are ready to use the mid function. So the mid function, it's gonna ask us where is your text. So it's here somewhere. So where do you want to extract? We want to start extracting the text from this position of the first square brackets, and the number of characters is gonna be the position of the second bracket, closing bracket, minus the position of the first one. Okay, so we're gonna say this one minus this one. Okay, and this is what we get. Okay, so this is the file name, but it has some other stuff with it, which is the extension and also the first bracket, because the position is gonna give you the position of the first bracket. So the mid function is gonna bring you the first bracket as well. What you can do, you can modify the function to get rid of it. Okay. So what you can say. So this is J6 here, which is our position of our first brackets, and we say +1. We don't want to start at the bracket itself. We need to start extracting one character after it, and that's how we get rid of it. But now we need to get rid of the rest of the other characters here, which is the extension and the other the closing bracket here. Okay, so what we can do is to come here at the end of the function, and we say -6 because they are 6 characters if you count the extension and the closing bracket. We hit enter and we get our file name without any clutter. So now what is left is to get this date in this column and copy it to all the cells. But remember, the mid function is bringing you a text. Okay, so what do you need to do? You need to get the value. So you need to apply the value function, and the value function is gonna try to understand what this text is. So if there is something meaningful, you know, if there is a value to this text, it will actually convert it to that value. And that's what's going to happen here. So as you can see here, it converted to a value. And we know that this value corresponds to a date. And if you just change the format from a number to a short date, you can see immediately that it is the same date that we have here. It just now Excel understand that this is a date. Okay, so it's December 13, as you can see here, December 13. So the rest is easy. You just copy it. Oh, sorry, before we do that, this gets me every time. So this is a function, so we need to copy and paste it. Okay, so we copy it and paste it here. No, we paste it as a value. Okay, and we delete this. We don't need that, and we just add write the header again. and we double click here and or drag it, but make sure you copy the cells, not fill a series. Okay, and the data is ready right now. Now you see it's a bit complicated here the way to do it, but in the end you will reach a point where you can write the formula in one line. So let's do that and see what we get. Okay, so we know that we're going to use the mid function. We're going to extract text, and where the text is coming from. So it's coming from the cell and the file name, and we close. So this is where the our text is coming from. Okay, the starting number is, we're going to find it because we know it. We need to start extracting at the first square brackets, and within what text? Same again. It's the cell, it's the file name. Okay, and we close the find function here, and this is our starting position for the extract. And now the number of characters, as you can see here, it's asking you for the number of characters. You need to minus the position or subtract the position of the first bracket from the closing brackets. Okay, the position. Okay, so we can find the number of characters. Okay, so we say find the the closing bracket within what text? Within the same text that we've done before, within the file name. Okay, and we close it. So this is the position of the closing bracket minus the position of the first one. Okay, where in the file name and we close it, and we know, or we close the whole thing here. Okay, and just look at it. All right, we came back to the same problem that we had before. So what we can do is we come here and we add to the first bracket here, the position of the first bracket, we add 1. We say we're gonna start just after the first square bracket, and if we come here, what we can say okay, minus 6 characters from the right, and that's gonna give us our file name. And as you can see now, the full function, you can write it in one line, and this function actually work with any file. So move this function, copy it in a text file, and just paste it in any file, and that file can be in any folder, and it will immediately give you the file name. So if you ever run into a similar situation, you can get the file name with this function easy. Okay, so I hope you liked the video. If you do, you know what to do. Subscribe. And always come back here for things like this in the future. Thank you so much for watching.